Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News, and we have Clayton Echard and Rachel Recchia cozying up for some content. Now, yesterday I made a video, which I'm going to get to in a second here. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind-the-scenes bonus content, and Bachelor Rush Hour, the afternoon daily podcast. So I made some content yesterday, but as I was making this content, information kept on coming out, new reels, new TikToks. The hell is going on with Rachel and Clayton? Everyone's asking, and they've got some like nice cosplay sort of. They shot it almost like in like a safe house style. Remember when the contestants are like secretly seeing each other in a condo somewhere before the season comes out? That's the kind of vibe they got. But everyone got their licking. Blake Horstman posted about it. Gianina, Blake's girlfriend, posted about it. Michelle Young posted about it. So everyone's getting the traffic from this very interesting story, which we're going to cover right now. If you want to check out any of my upcoming stand-up shows, I'm in Monrovia tonight. I'll be in Hollywood Saturday, Hollywood Improv Monday. The San Diego show after Valentine's Day sold out, but I'll be back a week later in Santa Barbara and Pacific Beach, California. Okay, so anyway, I made this video of them hanging out. Very interesting stuff. I'm going to share other interesting stories happening under the same roof involving Blake's ex hanging out with Blake's girlfriend. But first, here's a little catch-up of what we saw yesterday. I was not expecting this Bachelor story today. Clayton and Rachel spotted together, hanging out. Of course, Clayton dated Rachel. Then he broke up with Susie. All right, so we got the whole story, and people are saying that they're actually at an iHeart event in California, the AT&T Pro-Am. So maybe they have incentives like, hey, if you can go viral, we'll pay you more money. Who knows? But clearly they're either close enough friends where they're okay doing this, or maybe they're pursuing each other, or they're like, you know what? Let's let the cat out of the bag. If we're going to discuss this, if people are going to hypothesize about us being at the same event, let's make some fun stories. So Blake posted about this yesterday. And then there was also Blake and his girlfriend and Wells and Ben Higgins were all at the same event. Very complicated stuff. Now, I want to share with you my live reaction. So this is a clip from the behind the scenes Patreon. Every morning I do Patreon called Work with Dave, where I share with the audience exactly what you see here, which is me, just putzing around, finding the day's content. Here's the moment I saw that Rachel and Clayton were together, and you can see the surprise on my face. I immediately knew this was a story. Have a watch. Here it is. So I think the first flight's 16 hours. He's talking about something else. Hanging out with Bachelor Nation friends, including Rachel. Uh-oh. Whoa. Immediately. All right, here's our story. Look how excited I got. This is it. Clayton, Echard. And by the way, we've got these other screen grabs. So I had this other Susie Evans story ready to go, and I was like, all right, now it actually works. And then, of course, this is I didn't do that last trip, and I had this is us putting it together. So as you can see, we put in Echard. This is what we do. We put the thumbnail together. We kind of get it all going. We slide it around. We crop. We paste. So if you ever want to see how all this content is made, the sausage, if you will, you can go check out me as I make and produce my content, and there that is. So anyway, we had that story yesterday, and then right after I made the story in the afternoon, all these other TikToks came out. This is my favorite. Here we have Michelle Young. Of course, Clayton Echard was on Michelle's season. And then we have Rachel Recchia, who, of course, was heartbroken because of Clayton. And here's a nice little skit of theirs.
Like do you feel like you want to talk less shit?
No, because I like it.
And of course, so if you're just listening on Bachelor Rush Hour, the audio, that's Michelle Young and Rachel Recchia having giant glasses of maybe Spade and Sparrow Pinot Grigio. And in the background, Clayton walks by as she says, will you talk less trash? And Rachel goes, no, I think I'll keep it. Here, have a watch.
Like, do you feel like you want to talk less shit?
No, because I like it.
So it's just great. Classic stuff here. So funny. People are going crazy in the comment section. That's what Michelle Young posted. And then this was on Pilot Rachel's. This is Michelle Young starting it off again. Have a watch.
Tell me what's going on.
I would, but I think explaining it might give us both
An aneurysm.
Okay, so that was another clip for the Bachelor Rush Hour who's listening on audio only. Michelle Young is acting like the therapist, and then we see a clip of Rachel Recchia saying, I'd explain myself, but you might have an aneurysm. It pans away to reveal Clayton Echard. Another fantastic clip there. And then plot twist, Gianina, who is dating Blake Horstman, posts this photo. There was so much going on yesterday, I didn't even notice. When Clayton made an Instagram story, he said, hanging out with my friends. It was Blake and Gianina, and then it panned to Kaylin Miller-Keys, who's of course engaged to Dean Unglert, and then it panned over to Michelle Young and then to Rachel Recchia. What I didn't notice in that moment was that Kaylin Miller-Keys obviously had her huge issue with Blake Horstman. It's good to see that it looks like they've made amends. Kaylin Miller-Keys, okay, well, we can't get into the whole story, but she went to visit Blake at Coachella, and they did the dirty. They bumped Harrisons. They pumped their Palmers. And then afterwards on Bachelor in Paradise, Blake was exposed not just as being an F-boy, but of leading her on, saying he was leading her on in a certain way. Well, because he was being sort of soft Me Too'd, as we've discussed a million times, people were saying, oh, he manipulated her, he was doing this. He was forced to release the text messages, which clearly showed she was trying to get in his pants. And he was like, no, you're not coming over. She's like, I'm in an Uber. He's like, no, I'm not opening the door. She's like, I'm knocking. And it was a kind of a tough situation, but you know, he pulled the nuclear codes by sharing the text messages. Of course, then Nick Viall criticized him for sharing text messages, and then he shared Katie Thurston's text messages. Blake Horstman criticized Nick for being a hypocrite, and the beat goes on. But it looks like Blake's girlfriend, Gianina, who's, of course, big from Love is Blind and All-Star Shore, it looks like she's made amends and caught up with Blake's ex. It's not too often. And boy, you know, if you're Blake right now, you're probably sweating because you're like, oh, geez, I got this girl I hooked up with in Coachella hugging my girlfriend. Let's not hopefully they're not going to be like sharing secrets. Does he still do that hip thing? Does he still blow in your ear? You know, does he lick your neck like he's a contestant on the season of Bachelor? All right, so here's another TikTok from Gianina titled, When You Get Over Your Reality TV Trauma. There they are. Praying.
A win is a win. A win is a win.
A win is a win. So if you're listening to this on Bachelor Rush Hour, it's Michelle Young hugging Rachel Recchia, Blake behind Gianina, and then Clayton's in the background. So a win is a win. And there it is, folks. Fascinating stuff. Finally, more content. But wait, there's more. Here's Bob Guinea, for those newbies, and one of the OG Bachelors, hanging out with Rachel Recchia and Michelle Young at the tournament. Clearly, they were all having a blast at this tournament here. And there they are, golf tournament. So now we have, if we zoom in, a photo that has Rachel Recchia and Clayton in it. But Clayton's hugging somebody. I don't know who that is. Wells Adams is on the left. And then we have Ashley Iaconetti. And is that Kaylin? So that's Kaylin on the right. I couldn't tell. Not all glammed up here. It's not a high quality photo. So 7 Bachelor alums in one place. We have everyone in this photo. Let's see. We have 3 leads, and then we have 4 Bachelor in Paradise and or contestants. Very nice. That's a very power group right there. And then we have Clayton hanging out with Michelle Young and of course Rachel Recchia again. So it keeps going. Any other photos there? Michelle with Kaylin. And then there they are. Oh, it looks like they're doing a podcast. Rachel Recchia doing a podcast with Michelle Young. So the content machine keeps on going. And some might say, oh, they're just drumming up content for their social medias. Maybe. But if that's the case, I'm here and I'm consuming it. And it's a pretty interesting ride. Who expected this to start February 2023? It's been a busy day. Congrats to Claire Crowley and their marriage. We got that short story up on all of the different platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the different communities. We're trying to reach you guys wherever you may be. Let me know what you guys think, and we will be back tomorrow for more content. Bye, everybody.